You know, I am so happy to say I can make this video. For those of you that have been following me for the past few years, you know I have been one of the biggest Jeff Keighley critics. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've criticized this man. But he surprised me this year with the Video Game Awards, man. Let's talk about it. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Ad here, coming at you for another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Video Game Awards. Every year, man, I watch this thing, and every year I get mad disappointed. I ain't going to even sit here and try to front on you. And it's just like the way I've always felt like Jeff Keighley makes these awards in the vision of like corporate, like EA, Activision, Ubisoft, Xbox, PlayStation, and like his number one priority is to make sure that those people don't get upset. That's why in the past he has really not talked about massive layoffs. You'll have literally thousands and thousands of people getting laid off in the field that he's making the Video Game Awards about. And we're celebrating games from the developers that make these games, and most of the time when there's someone that collects the reward, it's a developer. But he doesn't like care, and it's not maybe him. I think he does care. It's just as a brand, as a company, I don't think he ever wanted to step on, upsetting the people that are laying these people off. So I think that's one of the reasons that, he kind of stayed away from that conversation. And then you got another thing that's going on when it comes to stuff like this is the actual awards. In my personal opinion, he's always had the awards damn near last on the importance list. Does that mean like he doesn't care about them? No. I will say that he does care about them, but there are things that he needs. He wants ad revenue. How do you get ad revenue? You need announcements. How do you get announcements? You need traffic from the previous year of announcements so you could charge people. You can get these giant trailers to show off so you can repeat the same cycle the year afterwards. I've never had an issue with ad revenue in this game, in this event. I've never even had an issue with being in December. Do I think it's, it sucks that we can't like celebrate a game such as like Indiana Jones? Of course, but I understand just the ad revenue, industry in general from running YouTube. Your ads are the peak they can be in December. So it makes more sense for him to really push to be in December. Does that mean I think it should be in December? No, but I can understand from a business perspective why he pushes for it to be in December. When it comes to the awards themselves, last year we saw some of the most despicable things you could do in this industry by doing the Video Game Awards. What do you guys think? What do you guys think I'm talking about? He had essentially a wrap it up. Like you had to speak your bars, and you had to get off in an X amount of time. And like, look, I understand we got a show, we got a flow that we got to do on the show. We got to keep things moving. But at the same time, how are you going to realistically expect me to respect your event when you're giving more time to Kojima than you're giving time to the Game of the Year winner? So that's something I didn't really enjoy for that perspective. I felt like he could improve on that. So this year, first thing we're going to talk about the overall construction of the show. The overall production quality was great. I do feel like he did the awards better. I still don't like that, he just pretty much announces like in 3 sets, like 5 in a row. But I understand there is a lot of awards. And I do feel like maybe there's a better way, even if you have to make it a little bit longer, just to have a couple more people pop up on the stage. I'm willing to concede this one because I understand with the amount of awards that's done, I get it. I still don't like it, but there's not a lot of options that he can realistically do without extending it. And this bastard's already like 3 hours and 30 minutes long, or 4 hours. I don't know. All right, so let's talk about criticism. We have given Jeff Keighley criticism over and over again, to the point where I feel like he was kind of like in a bubble of toxic positivity where there was no real feedback getting to him. And he was just assuming everything he was doing was correct. It needed to be said what happens this year. We needed to see if he's taking all of this feedback and he's actually nurturing it and doing something. And he did. Like I said, he improved just about everything. The flow of the show. You know, we didn't like the Muppets. So what I like what he did with the Muppets is, look, we didn't like the Muppets because it's kind of corny. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to take the Muppets and I'm going to give it the persona of the viewers that don't like me and that criticize my show. To me, that shows I heard your feedback. I get it. Here is my way of telling you, you have been heard and we are fixing it, because they were saying some off the wall stuff on Jeff Keighley. And what I respect it is he took it straight on the chin, because it's like he could have easily not done that. I don't know who came up with that. Maybe it was him. Maybe it was someone else. But he could have easily been like, nah, we're not going to have Muppets making fun of me the whole show. But when you're being criticized to this degree every year, it is nice to see that he does have a playful side. You know, when he sees all these people, he's like, you know what? Let's take the biggest criticism and the stuff that Twitter says, that Instagram says, that Facebook says, and let's give that persona to these Muppets. The fans don't like the Muppets 9 times out of 10. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I did not mind the Muppets in this particular situation. So let's get on to the actual announcements, because one thing I will say to Jeff, how did you make all these people agree to give you these announcements? Like, it is absolutely crazy you were able to get the pure amount of announcements that you have. And when you look at like a list of them, it's crazy long. It's got to be at least 30, 40 games. Like, maybe put in the comment section below if you guys know how long this is, but it's not a small feat by any stretch of the imagination, man. So let's go over a couple of them. As you can see here, shout out to IGN. You know, they do a good job doing stuff like this. So we're probably going to go from the top to the bottom, and I'm just going to like give a little bit of my perspective on it. So this game here, this Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet, I'm going to be honest with you, this game didn't scream to me in any way, shape, or form something I would want to play. I think I need to see more gameplay. I know Naughty Dog most likely is going to have a really good immersive world, and they're going to have good gameplay, but I didn't like that we didn't see gameplay in this particular one. I get it. I always give the first reveal trailer doesn't need gameplay. You can do a cinematic thing like this, and I'm okay with this. I think this is a good way of showing the game initially, but next time, I don't want to see anything. Maybe a story trailer that's cinematic, but I would prefer gameplay the next time. And if you do 2 trailers with no gameplay, I don't want to see anything else but gameplay from then on in. This Akami 2 Unveil, I didn't really get the vibe on this. I know a lot of people really enjoy this franchise, and I'm happy you guys get it, you know, because to me, when it comes down to it, Akami 2 is a classic. A lot of people love this franchise. I never really got into it when I was growing up, but I can understand why people got so excited to see this. And hats off to you guys, man. You guys got what you wanted. So then we got The Witcher 4. There was a lot of drama involving The Witcher 4. So apparently Ciri is going to be the main character, and it looked like the biggest issue with this is Ciri is a witcher. She's drinking the potions and doing everything, and I don't know. I'm not the biggest familiar person when it comes to The Witcher. I played The Witcher 3 a couple times. I never beat it, and I do want to go back and play that and Cyberpunk. I do feel, CD Projekt Red's one of the best people that do RPGs. They needed more time with Cyberpunk, and that shit was just thrown out anyway. But I'm very curious to see how it goes in this. And I do feel like if you're going to make a trailer like this and you're deliberately contradicting your lore, you should probably explain that better in the announcement trailer and not get mad at the hardcore fans that are being genuine. Obviously, you got some sexist assholes that's probably trying to use this to say they don't want to play Ciri. But for the most part, I didn't really see that. I just saw that it was like, look, I need to see more information. Why is she a witcher? And I think that's valid criticism, and that's something that I wouldn't blame someone for asking. Elden Ring Night Rain. It's a co-op spinoff. So, we thought we were done with Elden Ring. Nope. Game of the Year contender next year, too. We're going to have Elden Ring every year. We going full screen, man. We know why Jeff Keighley did this now. Because we're going to have Elden Ring this year, Elden Ring next year, Elden Ring the year after that, and then after that, we're going to have Baldur's Gate expansions. But you guys get what I'm saying. I get it. This actually looks good. I hope they have a traditional invite system in this game, because Elden Ring's invite system works, but it's definitely not something I like. I would want more of a traditional one where I just send invites. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I couldn't really tell you. Then we got this unified gen design. Now this was a little bit like the Shadow of the Colossus developers, or made by the original people that made them, which is interesting. They didn't really give a lot of context behind what's going on in this game, so I'm kind of curious on what we see going forward with this game. Astrobot won Game of the Year. I personally, and this is my opinion, I don't think Astrobot was Game of the Year this year, but I don't get mad at someone that does, because I do think it is a very quality game. I personally feel like the industry hyped up Astrobot way more than it should have been. I think it was a great game, and it was definitely a contender to some degree. I would have put Space Marines 2 in its place, but I can understand why people would look at something like Astrobot and play it and say, yo, this is worthy. It is nice to have a platformer win. As long as, the only thing I didn't want is, I'm going to be real with you guys, I did not want that Elden Ring expansion to win. I beat the Elden Ring expansion, and I think it's a phenomenal game. Phenomenal expansion. But to me, it's still off the merits of another game. And you've seen that, because if you noticed, I don't know if that one won award. I can't remember exactly. What I like about this, and what I appreciate what Jeff Keighley's doing with the Video Game Awards, is he is now speaking more on the developer side. When we're having all these layoffs, it's like I said, I always felt like this was made for corporate, and he always got their approval. Now, did he legitimately get their approval? I don't know, but that's just the way it felt, because it felt like he was always doing something because he didn't want to make the people that would give him advertisement money mad. But this year is the first year that I really felt like he was like, look, the developers are struggling. I don't care if you go out there. He let people get their bars off. He had, a new award with this individual, helping people, the developers in the community, find new jobs. This is the type of things I need to see. Awards could be better, but you know what's better than having the awards front and center at this? Is showing the support for the people that make the games. Then we got a Mafia game. What's interesting is we got this Aaron Paul game. Kind of give me like a Telltale kind of vibe. I do like those type of games, and Aaron Paul, I really enjoyed him in Breaking Bad. So I'm kind of curious exactly what they do with that going forward. This game here, Joseph Fares, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This man don't miss. He don't. Joseph is the key example of, if you make good games, they'll come. He's already won Game of the Year. Won already with It Takes Two. And I would be thrilled if he wins Game of the Year with this game. Probably not, because Fable is supposedly coming out next year. There's games I actually want to play, but what I will say is I'm day one with this game. Day zero. I'm playing this game the moment it drops. Capcom's bringing back Omniusha. This caught me off guard. Omniusha is a fan favorite. It's a classic. People love this franchise, and we've been wanting this franchise to come back for a long time, and I'm glad that it is coming back. The Outer Worlds 2. Oh my. I'll probably make another video on the Outer Worlds 2 scenario. It was initially announced as an Xbox exclusive, and now it's a full multi-plat. So, we'll talk about that, because that's a different type of video. I have my own opinions on that I don't want to really get too much into here. Sub to the channel if you want to see that. But we'll get to that here momentarily. Last of Us Part 2 coming to PC. Actually, what's funny is this is technically considered a remaster, if I remember correctly. it is in the actual, you know, it is in the actual thing that says remaster. Final Fantasy VII officially coming to PC. A lot of PC on PlayStation, man. A lot of PC on PlayStation. Final Fantasy 16 Clyde going to Tekken. Final Fantasy was definitely present here to some degree. First Borderlands 4 gameplay revealed, 2025. I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. 2025 looking lit. We'll get into that here in a second. Then obviously we had some Street Fighter stuff happen. Some Yakuza. This game looked interesting. At first I thought it was like a Mafia in Japan where you're like the Yakuza. But this is an interesting game, and I'm curious at what this game does in the future. You know, and then we had Sonic Racing Crossworlds, which is another 2025 game. Very interesting, very interesting. That Tarot game, a lot of people wanted this game. So, you know, in this Ninja Gaiden game. Look, that's pretty much like, that's all the titles. There was so many there. You guys got to go watch it. My hat's off to you, Jeff Keighley. And I'm speaking for myself, all I have ever wanted is just a good Game Awards. It's a good Game Awards that we could come there, celebrate games, see our favorite developers get their flowers, and have some really nice award announcements on top of that. That's all I've ever wanted. And I get it. People have given you the smoke. And in my opinion, it was justified to a degree. Now, obviously, people are being mad, personal, being disrespectful. We don't condone that over here. No, I condone that. We don't co-sign that. Don't be disrespectful. You are not going to get anything done by sounding crazy on Twitter. Because then anything you say isn't going to matter. Look, great. 10 out of 10 show. It is. And I'm so glad that Jeff Keighley is taking the input and he's making a better show in general. And he's giving the flowers to the industry that this industry needs. He's speaking up for the developers. He's giving us good announcements. Look, because you did this, Jeff Keighley, you might actually get just as good of announcements next year because you're showing the developers that actually have pull in every one of these studios that can get you what you need. You're showing them that you care about their struggles just as much as you care about making money. I'm not going to sit here and be ignorant to the fact that advertising has to be front and center in this, but I didn't feel it was intrusive. I didn't. Clearly they were there, but he had this show with such good pacing, it went by fast, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It really felt like an E3 show, man. It felt like an E3 show. But anyway, that's it for the video, man. Like I said, Jeff Keighley, hats off to you, man. You shut my ass up. I'm going to be honest with you. You shut my ass up entirely. There's no complaining over here until the next dumb shit that you do, you know, in my opinion. Obviously, you could do dumb stuff and other people wouldn't have an issue. But I only speak for myself. You know, a lot of people come on here and say, Addict, why are you speaking for the Xbox community? I ain't speaking for no Xbox community. I'm speaking for myself. Sometimes it's right. Sometimes it's wrong. But it is my opinion, and I'm going to stand on my square. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys feel about this event. What was your favorite announcement? Mine was definitely the Outer Worlds 2. Caught me complete off guard. I cannot wait to play that in 2025. 2025 looking amazing, and I cannot wait for that year to start. But anyway, put in the comment section below what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button. It's always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel. We make weekly content over here. And until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. Man, Jeff Keighley, you did your shit, man. You did your stuff. My flowers, I don't got flowers with me, but you got all the flowers in the world, man. You do. I appreciate you taking the feedback.